You're watching ChillyBoy Productions. I'm Larry ChillyBoy Chilson, and this is my review for Gran Turismo. Now, before we get into this review, make sure to go ahead and click that subscribe button down below so that you can chill with me on each and every one of my latest videos. Gran Turismo is a 2023 sports drama directed by Neil Blomkamp. The film follows a player who wins a series of Nissan-sponsored video game competitions through his gaming skills and becomes a real-life professional race car driver. The film stars Archie Madekwe, David Harbour, Orlando Bloom, and Jimon Hansu. Now, Gran Turismo was initially meant to release in theaters everywhere on August 11th. However, Sony Pictures announced a last-second delay so that fans can spread the word and they can do more of these pre-release screenings to kind of drum up some kind of buzz amongst the writers and SAG strikes. Now, conversely, they could just pay the writers and actors what they deserve and give them proper human rights in the face of artificial intelligence and not have to delay films such as this. So, the people that are so integral to making these films could promote their hard work, but instead they're playing hardball on the wrong side of history. Thus, Gran Turismo is one of many and many more, I'm sure, yet to be announced, delays in the film and TV industry. But fans will still get to see the film race into theaters August 25th, so they very shortly delayed the film. So as a racing fan, I was really excited for Gran Turismo. Now, most of my racing fandom does happen to stay within the United States and stock car racing, as my shirt gives away. But I'm always just enthralled with racing of any kind. I love the 24 Hours of Le Mans. Any racing fan is all on board for that iconic race specifically. Add to that this insane true story and a racing game so many of us have played before. I was really happy to see that the trailers had some charm. They seemed fun. And ultimately, that's what you get when it comes to Gran Turismo, a solid film. Is it great? No, not particularly, but it is a good time at the movie theater. So let's go ahead and talk about those positives first. Well, my first positive is kind of a vague positive, but Gran Turismo nails what I want from every good, satisfying sports movie. Does it deliver on the sports action? Yes, the racing scenes in this film are great. They're fun, they're exciting, they're kinetic and full of energy. Drone shots can be hit or miss, but in this context, as those drone shots sweep over the track and get the action in actual race time, it works perfectly. Any sports fan knows these drone shots, knows these helicopter overhead shots, and they work so well in this cinematic context. Not only that, I also really appreciated that they hammered home the physicality and the actual difficulty of being a race car driver, because so often, no matter which car racing series you're part of, these drivers are discredited because they're just driving, right? No, this film really puts into perspective the physicality that goes behind being a driver and does a great job of giving you the scale of weight and power being behind the wheel of these cars provides. You feel the weight of it all, and I thought they did that expertly. Mix that with some really strong sound design, and I thought every component of the racing was fantastic. Next, is it inspirational? Yes, this film gives you those inspirational feels, particularly, once again, because it is based on a true story, a crazy true story. And they really hammer home the idea of the downtrodden being able to make something out of nothing, to make their dreams come true when they're excluded. And I thought that the script did a really good job of building the narrative around that and what the idea of letting sim drivers work their way into the competition actually represents. Maybe it didn't fully represent that to a lot of the executives. They showcased that as well, but the film really kind of put a spotlight on that being the heart of his specific journey with Jin. And it has a lot of heart. There's one scene in here that really hit home emotionally with Jimon Hansu, who I'm going to say right here is amazing. Somebody give this man his flowers in Hollywood. He's always fantastic, no matter what you put him in. And he is so good in his limited screen time here. But the film delivers on the emotional front. It's fun, it's exciting, it's uplifting and inspirational. It's a feel good sports movie. As for the rest of our actors, David Harbour is fantastic here as well. He delivers a really strong performance. Archie Madekwe, who I'm not really that familiar with, was wonderful here in our lead, and Orlando Bloom was great. All of the acting across the board, actually, I thought was quite good. And looking at the technical aspects, it's not just the drone shots that work well within the cinematography. I actually think it's shot really well in general. It's a beautiful looking film with some really nice cinematic choices that are made that elevate this above so many flat standard, probably could have gone to TV style sports flicks. And I have to say, I also loved the parallels with the game. I thought it was really a fun touch to bring the game into it in really creative ways when we were in the actual racing world. They format his journey pretty much how you unlock things within a game and the journeys you progress through. And yeah, it made me want to pick up my freaking PlayStation controller and get back to racing games. So I guess it accomplished its mission. So then, what didn't work so well when it came to Gran Turismo? Well, my biggest problem is actually the script itself. So while I think it's structured okay, and I think that it does a good job at getting to the heart and hitting the high notes of a good sports film, the dialogue specifically doesn't always work, particularly in that first act. I thought I was in for a long ride because I cringed more than once in the first act of the film at some of the things these people were saying. Everything felt a little bit too over the top. It all felt a little bit too on the nose with caricatures left, right, and center. Thankfully, it does veer past that, but having this very stereotypical caricature type of opening, set you off on the wrong foot. I also think that the editing is quite choppy. So, as fun as the racing sequences are and how exhilarating they can be, it's certainly no Ford v Ferrari or Top Gun Maverick, where you are in these automotive firestorms of sequences that just work because we get to see the action beautifully. We're in this kinetic minefield. Here, it's fun, it's serviceable enough, but particularly as we're editing back and forth out and into the action, sometimes you get lost in the shuffle. There were actually moments where I was like, whoa, 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 how did we even get here? Because the editing just sent you on too big of a whirlwind. And then finally, I do think the pacing suffers. At the beginning of the third act, the film really started to feel its length. This one clocks in at 2 hours and 15 minutes. And I think, honestly, we could have shaved this to around 2 hours flat. We go through long stretches where we're away from the track that the film just doesn't keep momentum. Now, there are some really interesting things that happen here off the track that if we had just leaned into them heavier or further explored them overall, it could have worked, and we actually could have made this a 2.5 hour film and it would have been investing. However, it goes back to that screenplay. We don't really do much with the time away from the racing action. So it starts to really get bogged down. And you feel that runtime before the final race hits. But overall, I actually quite enjoyed myself with Gran Turismo. It is a solid sports movie that delivered on most everything I wanted it to deliver on. It's not going to be making any best films of the year list, and it certainly won't be up for any awards come 2024. But as a fun racing movie, yeah, it does the job, and I had a good time watching it. So that is my review for Gran Turismo. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, go ahead, click that like button down below and subscribe to the channel so that you are always up to date on all of my latest videos. Also, join in on the discussion. Are you hyped to see Gran Turismo, or have you already seen it at an early showing? Let me know all of your thoughts either in the comment section down below, or you can hit me up on Twitter. I love you all so much for your continued support. Mwah! Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye.